Hey guys, Ace Diamond 1013 here. Yes, this is two posts in 1 week. A couple days ago, Monday, I did a post with a video with my son. He got Nerd Block Junior. 2 days later, I can say he's still playing with the toys, which is good. At first, I thought um, it wasn't going to be something he didn't see. He seemed excited in the video, but that's how Phelan is with all new things. But then after the video was done, he got up and he went and played in his room with other things. And so I had said to his mother, do we really want to be spending the $16 if he's just going to get excited? I almost considered doing a mock-up nerd block, basically putting stuff that I knew he would be excited about into the same box and let him open it once a month. But then I'm like, if I'm going to post it on YouTube, I either have to do it or I have to do it for real or I have to not do it. And fortunately, last night he was sitting on our bed maybe for about 45 minutes playing with the figures. So yeah, as much as a short attention span as the average 5-year-old has, he's enjoying the stuff that he got. So now it's Wednesday, the 25th, and I got my loot crate in finally. I've been waiting for this loot crate. This is the loot crate for February 2015, and the theme is play. And for those of you who follow up on this stuff, this is about, they said all games that you play, like board games, video games, card games, and I like video games, don't get me wrong, but video games are featured to some degree in quite a few of the loot crates that I've gotten in the past year. And while that's not an issue, when they mentioned board games, I was excited. And then when they proceeded to say video games, I'm like, it's going to be like one board game thing, and then the rest is going to be like video game stuff because it's more popular. But I've been trying not to cheat this month, even though I've been really like wanting to know how this works out, because I am a big board gamer. Now, I know the average person, when they hear board game, they think the game of life, the game of Monopoly. Games like that in their own right are good games. But I'm what more people nowadays, especially in the community of board gamers, I'm what they consider a hobby gamer. And what I mean by that is I play niche games that have more of a story to them. They're less what people would traditionally call family games. Life and Monopoly, those are family games. Anybody in the family can sit down and play the game, and it doesn't generally tell a story. It's generally a single mechanic, and you just play it. I play games these days when I can get a group together. Games like Arkham Horror, which is a board game based on H.P. Lovecraft's Cthulhu mythos. I play another game called Touch of Evil, which is, let's just say, it's Johnny Depp's Sleepy Hollow, the board game. And that's kind of a vague description, but basically it's a horror-based game in which the players are a group of investigators trying to help discover and eliminate some sort of horror. And one of the horrors in it is the Headless Horseman. It takes place kind of around the same period as Sleepy Hollow. So low technology, stuff like that, where horror is really horror. It's a really fun game. I also play a lot of zombie-based board games. I'm now getting into my local friendly gaming store, That's Entertainment, has a board game day every month, and I'm learning about even more board games through them. So because of them, I discovered a game called King of Tokyo, which my fiance actually ended up really liking. We've even managed to make the rules Phelan friendly, where not a lot of reading is involved, but there's still the strategy is still there. There's another game called Smash Up. So, look up some of these games and check out a site called BoardGameGeek.com and type in any of these games. Smash Up, Arkham Horror, Last Night on Earth, Touch of Evil, the Pathfinder Adventure card game, and you'll get a better idea of what I consider games these days. So anyways, I was hoping that when they said board games, that it would have more board game type stuff, rather than the video game stuff, which I've got plenty of. So anyways, I've already been babbling for about 6 minutes on this, but they did an announcement about a week later that said that there was I think it's called Super Brawl, or it's a game I had never heard of, but I looked it up, and sure enough, it's right up my alley of what I consider a card game these days. So from what I understand, we're getting a deck for this game called Super Brawl, which I've never played before, but it gave me hope that at least that one item is going to be something board game related that I really want to get my hands on. So without further ado, I'm going to open the crate here. The crate's a little bigger than usual. My fiance noticed it's a little heavier. It actually has quite a bit of shifting going on. From what I understand, no t-shirt this month. They said there is going to be a figure, which is interesting because what kind of figure are you going to have with the board game? Am I going to get, the money guy from Monopoly, or I don't know. So anyways, we are going to open this. So this is what I can see. Some of this stuff you guys may recognize already, but I'm going to pull this stuff out. We have okay, so I knew that, like I said, I knew there was going to be a figure. This is actually pretty cool. This is from a company called Money World. It's basically design, admire, and inspire, and it's basically make your own vinyl fig. On the back it says you can draw on money, you can paint on money, use pens, pencils, and crayons on money. Make things to put in money's hands, make hats to put on money's head, or you can just leave money alone and keep money next to you for company. So it's kind of glary over here because of the way the light is, but basically it's a minifig with absolutely no detail. It seems like it comes with just the figure. So there seems to be something else in there. I'm gonna pop this open. I generally have no problem opening this stuff. I buy to enjoy the stuff that it comes with, not to collect per se. So open this up. Okay. So there's the figure. It's the vinyl figure. Absolutely no details on it whatsoever. The only thing that's really kind of noticeable is there's a little tail. It's kind of chimpish in profile with the big ears. No offense to people out there who may have big ears. They gave me 3 washable markers, so that's cool. So I can actually draw, probably wash off, draw again. I'm going to have to look online. Vinyl seems to be a material that could probably be washed pretty good if you have the right thing. So this is put out by Kid Robot, by the way. So that's pretty cool. I'm not artistically inclined, but I can draw what I want on it, and that's pretty cool. It wasn't the thing I was looking forward to the most in this crate, so where most of my crates, it's like the t-shirt or the fig ends up being worth the price of admission, as I say. That's a cool fig. But let's see what else is in here. Okay. there is a dice bag. Gamers, there's various dice that you use in role-playing, like Dungeons and Dragons, and you usually have a dice bag to hold those dice. There's some other games out there that involve a lot of dice, so sometimes they have bags like this. Okay, so I've taken out, it's got 2 6-siders, which some people may say, duh, dice are 6-siders, but in role-playing, we deal with 4-siders and 8-siders and 12-siders and 20-siders and even 30-siders and 100-siders. So as a gamer, I point out these are 2 6-siders. And as you can see from the faces, this is rock, paper, scissors, and as a dice game. So it's actually kind of combining one game, rock, paper, scissors, with the randomizer of dice. It doesn't seem like a game that would be exactly fun, but I guess it's no more or less than the randomization that comes with rock, paper, scissors. 1, 2, 3, and you throw it out. So this one is a white die and a black die, and you roll a die, and the white die got scissors, and the black die got paper, so the white die won. So that's cool. So we also have looks like a poster. I'm not always a fan of opening these things up because I'm not good at rolling them back up again, but my girl's pretty good at them, so I'm going to open this up so that you can see what we got here. Curious to see what. Okay, so what it looks like is it's a Pac-Man cartridge. And it's kind of showing that if you take a Pac-Man cartridge apart, you'll end up with actual Pac-Man game inside the cartridge, which isn't the way cartridges work, but that's pretty cool. It's got the bottom of the disc. This is the sticker. That's the next part is the cartridge. There's the actual game. There's like the what do they call it? Like the circuit board. So that's pretty cool. It's game program used with joystick. So yeah, that's pretty cool. We'll wrap that up later. Okay, then we have a hex bug. We got a hex bug a couple months ago. That was Transform, I believe. It's kind of a Transformer hex bug. So now I got another hex bug. This one is labeled hex bug ant. And let's see if I can remember how these things. Battery powered robot. Where did I put my knife? There it is. Just got home, kind of a late night last night, so a little tired. If I sound less than enthused, it's nothing against the actual item. It's just trying to get this done before my son wakes up. Apparently he fell asleep earlier. He's having a little bit of a nap, and I know he'd be pretty big on, wanting to do this with me, so let's see, is there a switch here somewhere? Okay, so this is what it looks like. It's got these cool kind of circular clay type wheels. You can see the gears. Here's an antenna. I almost ripped it off. I thought it was a tab of some kind. Here's a tail. Oh, there we go. So this thing I cannot test. This is going to fly around my room. So I can't. The hex bug I got with the Transformer actually just kind of jiggled around, had some kind of gyroscope thing in the middle that made it jiggle around, so I was able to hold it on my lap. But this is an actual wheel. These things are going to fly. So I'm looking forward to checking that out. Maybe I'll record this thing flying around my room later. So that's really cool. I like that. Okay, so one of the things that it mentioned is that we were going to be getting a book. And it said that it's a hugely popular pop culture book that's going to fit with this theme. And I had a feeling. I knew what it was going to be, and I was right. It's a book called Ready Player One, and this book is amazing. I had heard a number of podcasts that I listened to mention this book, recommending it. You know, podcasts sometimes get a lot of sponsors, so they basically said, "Oh, our sponsor is Audible," and IGN podcasts have mentioned a lot. You know, the sponsor is Audible, blah blah blah, and check out Ready Player One, and basically. Here's what it says on the back. It says, in the year 2044, reality is an ugly place. The only time teenage Wade Watts feels really alive is when he's jacked into the virtual utopia known as the Oasis. Wade's devoted his life to studying the puzzles hidden within the world's digital confines, puzzles that are based on the creator's obsession with the pop culture decades past that promise massive power and fortune to whoever can unlock them. But when Wade stumbles upon his first clue, he finds himself beset by players willing to kill to take the ultimate prize. The race is on, and if Wade's going to survive, he will have to win and confront the real world he's always been so desperate to escape. It's kind of a vague description. It doesn't quite make it sound as awesome as it actually is. So what I'm going to say is basically this game designer who he's a fictional game designer who grew up in the 80s and made games for during like the 80s period, like Tetris and Space Invaders and so on and so forth. And then as time goes on, he goes on to design even bigger, better things. And by the year 2044, he's made this virtual reality world, which, just like a lot of the sci-fi shows you see nowadays, is like a world inside. You know, you can actually travel to other planets and everything, but it's all virtual reality. Anyways, upon his death, his will basically says that hidden within his virtual reality world is clues. And if you can solve the clues, find the clues and solve the puzzles, there's like 5 clues, I think. If you can find them and solve them, the first person to do so will win his entire fortune. And this guy was like huge, like right up there with, you know, Microsoft owner and all this other stuff. He's got a lot of money, and his company's huge, and it's still making money. And the thing is the happiest time in this man's life was in the 80s. So a lot of these clues have to do with like the pop culture of the 80s. So picture like a scavenger hunt done by the nerdiest, pop culture loving person that you can imagine. And that's what this book is. And in a world where there is no confines, they actually have a world in here that's like based on World of Warcraft, another one that's based on Star Wars, another one that's based on Las Vegas during the Elvis era. You know, it's like it's amazing book. The reader that did a really good job, and so this book is great, and I'm gonna read the book. I've listened to it. I have it on my devices, but I was hoping this would be the book. Here we go. Here's a little good description here. Enchanting. Willy Wonka meets the Matrix. An addictive read, part intergalactic scavenger hunt, part romance, and all heart. CNN.com. Incredibly entertaining. A geek fantasia. Austin, America Statesman. Boston Globe says a most excellent ride. Klein stuffs his novel with a cornucopia of pop culture as if to wink to the reader. BoingBoing.net says a rollicking, surprise-laden, pot-boiling, thrilling adventure story. NPR.org says ridiculously fun and large-hearted. Klein is that rare writer who can translate his own dorky enthusiasms into prose that's both hilarious and compassionate. Absolutely amazing. I recommend this book. Okay, so, like I said, it says it came with a deck. Super Fight. That was the name of it, not Super Brawl. Super Fight. This is a 100-card version of the viral card game Super Fight, designed exclusively for Loot Crate by Skybound. These cards are only available in this exclusive deck. Create hilarious fighters with these cards, then argue over who would win in a fight between them. Now, what I read about this game is essentially you have two types of cards in here. You have fighters and you have descriptors. And the fighters are things like Mummy or Space Cowboy or whatever. And then the descriptors are like items or powers that these people could have. So it could be like a Space Cowboy with a robotic horse. That's almost too generic. A Space Cowboy with that's in a large hamster ball or something like that. And so two players at the table make their character based on the character that they draw and the descriptors that they draw, and they put them together to make a character. And then they debate on who would win a super fight. And then after a designated amount of time, the rest of the table votes on who wins. And then, so this is awesome. I'd open it. Yeah, so this video is either going to bore or excite certain types of people, because this is my crate, and I can't help but to want to talk more about it. And I've told you guys in the past that I was going to do like babble videos where I was just going to talk about my favorite subjects. And this video would be an example of a babble video if I ended up doing one. Because this is exactly what I would be doing. Is just enthusiastically talking about something that I really, really like. So, okay, so we've got these two different types of cards here. We have the heroes. Actually, there's more than just two colors in here, so they've probably changed this game a little bit. So, we'll find out more about this. But you have something like a derby girl. And I may draw a hand. Let's just say it's a hand of 3. So, I have a derby girl, Godzilla, and an ocelot. And then I would have, like, say, 5 descriptors, which is, let me see if I can find ones that are more like what I was just talking about. Okay, so now I think I get it just by glancing through it. Okay, so here's the descriptors. So then I think you take like 2 of these descriptors. I may have like a hand of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you take like 2 of these descriptors. So like can only be killed by a stake through the heart, or wrapped in toilet paper, or commands an army of disposable minions, or literally a GIF, however that's pronounced, or armed with a machete. So I'm going to take Godzilla, because who wouldn't pick Godzilla, and I'm going to put armed with a machete, and can only be killed by a stake through the heart. So that would be my character. And then my opponent would do the same thing. And then we would sit there and argue about who would win the battle and what they would do in the fight. And then at the end of the battle, the person who's voted, the table votes, and they decide. Now we have some other colors in here which I've heard something about. But, so we've got white cards, which are your characters. We've got black cards, which are their descriptors or powers. And then we've got blue cards, which are locations. So this is like where the fight takes place. So this may be advantageous. Like this one's Godzilla's stomach. So it'd be kind of interesting if I picked my character Godzilla, and made that character, and then flipped this over and found out that we're actually fighting in my character's stomach. So that's kind of cool. An old rope bridge over lava, on a roller coaster. And so that might change, kind of a home field advantage kind of thing. And then they give us these purple cards, which are general rules that that apply for this battle. For instance, all fighters are armed with gasoline squirt guns, or fighters cannot see or hear. Well, this one's interesting. It says fighters are riding giant blanks, and then it says draw a random character card. So I would draw a random character card, and I get the Navy. So characters are riding giant navies. You know, it's like so. Anyways, so this game is cool, and I had done some research on it, and it sounded like it was a cool game. I didn't know when they said they were going to give us a deck. I didn't know how big the deck was going to be. I didn't know if it was just going to be like an advertising sample, but it looks like that's the character deck right there. That's a character deck, lots and lots of cards. So it looks like they gave us enough to really enjoy the game. That's a good sized free game. Thank you very much, Loot Crate. So I'm sorry guys, this is a really long video, but I'm so excited about this crate. So this is Loot Crate exclusive Super Fight deck. So next is Firefly. Get ready for Firefly Online in your very own premium ship. Just like the one in Loot Crate's Firefly fan video, The Verse, available exclusively to Loot Crate subscribers. So, okay, they're coming out with a game called Firefly Online. And I don't want to really get into it because I don't know a whole lot about it. I'm actually a little frustrated with it because I tried registering, and it seems, maybe because I was doing it on my iPad, because it's going to be an iOS version, when I tried to register for an account, every single possible character name, login name, username, every single username I put in said already used. I did Ace Diamond 1013, I did 1013 Ace Diamond, I did Ace Diamond 1310, I did capitals all over the place. Every single thing I typed in said username used, username already used, username. So I got frustrated and I shut it off. I'm hoping now that some time has gone by, maybe they fixed it. So anyways, when the game finally kicks off, you put in this code and it gives you a special vehicle. Looks like that. So that's pretty cool. I figured there would probably be a few codes in here. Do that in a second. Okay, so our box this month, as you guys know, we've had some what do they call it? Boxes that actually seem to do things. In this case, this is Crate Packing Simulator 2015. And it's essentially a board game, and right here it says, attention looters, pull this tab to lay the crate flat and play our original board game, Crate Packing Simulator 2015. So apparently it's a board game based around the idea of packing a loot crate to be shipped out to the subscribers. So that's pretty cool. And I imagine here we probably have some figures. Yep, there's your card tokens. Let me take a quick look through here, see if there's anything I missed or misread. Why co-op games are good for you. Oh, this month's mega crate. Oh my goodness. This is the first I've seen of this. It's worth over $2,000. We have a DJI Phantom 2 Vision quadcopter with integrated FPV camcorder. So it's essentially a drone. It's an $800 drone. It looks really awesome. The Dremel Idea Builder 3D kit. So here's a 3D printer. The Oculus Rift, that's $1,000. The Oculus Rift development kit, for those of you who don't know, that's basically virtual reality for your computer. It's something they're working on. That's $350. Lego Minecraft Crafting Box, Lego Minecraft The Mine, and Lego Minecraft Ender Design. Those are $65, $110, and $60 appropriately. There's your drone, there's your 3D printer, there's your Oculus Rift, and there's your 3 Minecraft. So that's really awesome. Here's a month I wouldn't mind. History of game controllers. Can't play games without them. So let's see. Oh, and they're actually hosting a money design contest. So I'm not going to win, but we'll take a look at that after. They're doing things from most votes, most resourceful, best team, best kid design, best hero/villain. So there's a lot of good categories in there. Okay, so Ready Player One, the novel, Super Fight, Crate, Rock Paper Scissors Dice Game from Loot Crate Labs, Hexbug. Looks like they had some pretty cool one. The larva looks pretty creepy. They have a Hexbug Original, Hexbug Scarab, Hexbug Ant. The larva looks really cool. It looks like the larva and the scarab all glow in the dark. I got the ant, so it doesn't glow in the dark, but that's still pretty cool. Waka Waka poster, and Firefly Premium Ship Unlock. So that is, and then of course, as always, Loot Crate February 2015 play. So, quick run through. We got the book that we all the book that we always get. Here's my instructions for the board game box. 100 card Loot Crate exclusive Super Fight deck. Ready Player One book by Ernest Klein. Really good book. Check it out. The Pac-Man poster. Let's set up. Rock, paper, scissors, dice. Firefly code for a ship in Firefly Online. Money World. Blank designing figure. And Hexbug Ant. So, I would say this is, give or take, not taking into account certain items that I've gotten over the past year that by themselves were pretty awesome. Crate as a whole, this is probably my favorite crate. I highly recommend it. I'm going to try to put a link below the video. Almost never remember to do it, but I'm going to try to put a link under the video. If you join using that link, I'll get a few dollars off. You'll get a few dollars off. We can all have fun, and maybe I'll be watching your video next month. So this is Ace Diamond 1013 saying thank you very much, and keep on playing.